you want. That's cool. If you want to. We are live. We are live. Episode 36. 36. 36. Episode 36.
46.
Yeah, 36. Welcome to the Elite Podcast. Big bro, Pang, what good?
I am blessed, man. Blessed. I wish Tegan were here. Man. I don't know. I've been just like feeling a little. I just had a little spirit come over me, man, and I wanted to like show my appreciation to you and Tegan for us doing this. You know what I mean? Because this really make me feel good, man. Really look forward to coming on here and doing this show. So I don't hate when I got miss an episode. Really do hate it myself. So I really
Yeah,
wanted
man.
to just give Iron Man your flowers and while I hear, you know what I'm saying? And I just love doing this with I really and truly do.
No, man, I appreciate it, man. You've been an inspiration for us, man. So right back at you, man. That's how it is, man. Each one teach one.
Right.
That's how it is, man, for real. But I always look forward to this too, man. I always look forward just to hearing everybody's story. Everybody have a different story, but it's so much inspiring, in so many different ways. So it's always a blessing to hear someone's story and give them a chance, getting that chance to tell a story and give them a voice. So you know,
Yeah, well,
and
today
then
we do have a good story to tell. Well, today our guests
yeah,
have a good story to tell. So,
yeah. So it's
uh,
gonna be fun. It's gonna be
yeah.
interesting. Like we always say, we can't wait. We can't wait. You know. So I'll go ahead and get these shout outs out the way, Pang. You know.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna see if I can walk on this light tonight. I've been walking on, so go ahead. I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. You good? You good? All right. So regular shout outs. Via everyone that's tuning in. I appreciate you guys tuning in. In the support of Kristene Kelly, Dr. Kristene Kelly. I forget to put a doctor in the episode, so I got to edit that out and change it. But I appreciate you guys viewing, so it's gonna be fun. Um, these are some shout outs for all the different business owners, in the Caribbean, in the Virgin Islands. So I just give them a shout out. You guys go out and support your own and everything, so we got the legends340.com, legends340.com. We got Savory Eats LLC based in Orlando by Sheena Fontaine. We got the Good Life Apparel. Follow on Instagram at Melting Pot Cooking Class, Melting Pot Cooking Class, also meltingpotcookingclass.com. We got Cebon Caribbean Restaurant. We got Apollo Legion. Also follow on Instagram at Island Destiny 340, Serenity Braids by Nikki. Also, we got one of our previous guests, Rico Canario. You guys could check out his website, www.lulu.com/spotlight/R Canario. He has a lot of history on the Virgin Islands in sports and just in the Virgin Islands in general. So you guys go out and support. He also have some books as well. So you guys check out his books. He's an author as well too. So he's a historian. He has a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom. Also, Right Way Service Station located in Princess next to Avis. We have Paris Enterprise. Big up to Dave, Paris Enterprise. Also follow on Facebook, Livewire Sports. Follow on Facebook. Also, Dr. Kristene Kelly, she will be on Livewire Sports Tuesday, 7 p.m. So you guys go out and support. Check that out as well too. She's very busy. She's doing a lot. So big up to Livewire Sports. You guys make sure you guys follow them on Facebook. We got Midnight Entertainment, new single out, Bring Out the City, out on iTunes now and Apple Music as well. So you guys go out and support. Big up to Frenchie. We also got Next Level Up Printing. We also got OliviaDesire.com. We got Bubbles Promotion. Also follow on Facebook, Brino's Kitchen as well too. And also Mona Bonds with Follow Her City of Refuge Worship Center. And that's on Facebook. They always live stream every Sunday at 10 a.m. Also, last but not least, also we have our YouTube channel, v.i.legends, and that's our YouTube, v.i.legends. You guys also go out and check that out. Check out all the previous episodes as well. This episode is streaming to YouTube as we speak. So big up to all the business owners and what they're doing. So much love to them. Make sure you guys go out and support your own as well. All right, Punk. So you good? Good night to everybody. Good night to everybody.
Good night, everyone, man. And See, that's all of that you're doing, man. That's hard work right there. I know you're out of breath.
Yeah, be out of breath, son. I don't know what to do. I need to start. I need to get back in shape, running my distance. That's what I need to do. I need to be running 20 minutes.
You and me both. Trust me,
Yeah.
you and me both.
Yeah, man. So, oh, you was gonna say something, Pang?
No, no, no. Go ahead.
All right. So we touch on the last episode.
The last episode was like I tell I after we gaff. That was the first time I actually talked to Bogus, like like have a conversation with Bogus since high school. Honestly,
Oh
and
wow.
it just felt real good, hearing these stories and it was just fun, man. It really felt like we were just back home, just chilling, just like how it was when we was in school. So it was a great feeling. Just we did as much talking as he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's how excited we were. 'Cause we were telling as much stories as he was. You know what I mean? So
it's true.
it
Yeah.
was real good. A real good episode. Much needed. Like a real good episode.
Yeah, it was an amazing episode. It was you know it's kind of crazy because he was going through a lot in high school.
Yeah.
While going to school, he was going through a lot. A lot of he faced a lot of adversity. Some a lot of different situations, man. And he fought through it. He kept his head up high. And how he was talking. He leaned upon you guys as teammates. You guys supporting him, being there for him and stuff. So you guys played a major role in helping him. You know, go through high school. But it was an amazing episode. It was fun. Hearing tell his stories. A lot of the different adventures he was on. Going in college and stuff. So it was amazing. If a lot of kids see his episode, I think it'll inspire a lot of the kids them because I know a lot of kids go through where he go through.
Right.
So it was
And
a big inspiration.
and his tough road didn't stop at high school.
Yeah.
College it was still rough for him. You know what I mean? So it just Bogus is a true like a hero story. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah.
had a lot of adversities to go through, and he literally pulled through and show that he could overcome adversity and come out on top. So he's definitely a success story. We a lot
Yeah.
of us we might not make it to the NBA, we might not make it professional and stuff, but that don't mean that your story is not a success. And his story is definitely a success story.
Yeah, it's true. Well said, Pam. Well said. Well said. So we on to episode 36. We have Dr. Kristene Kelly.
So, like everybody, some of you who watch it may know Dr. Kristene Kelly. Before we came on, I was asking her if she know me, if my face is a familiar face, because we were in the circles at Central around the same time, like right before I went to Complex. She was in Central the 90. Well, I'll let her tell all the story, but it's just funny. Not saying that I have to cross paths with everybody here, you know what I mean? But still, our island is small, so we really knew kind of. You might not have know somebody personally, but you had to see them at least once or twice. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's. I actually worked with a lady that went to school in Central with me, and she never saw me. I never saw her. She lived right there in Matuchal. We went Central together, but we never knew each other. So it's a small wall. At the same time, still a big wall. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but we gonna get to hear her story. Janae James is the one who brought her to my attention, and it just so happened that I guess everybody was catching up because when I was planning this interview, she already had an interview scheduled with Rashidi, and
Yeah.
then she doing one with like Voya next Tuesday. So it seems like the word is getting out about her, so which is good because we
It's
need
good.
that's
Yeah.
really why this podcast is here because we need our people to be recognized. You know what I'm saying for the good
True.
that they do, whether it's on St. Croix or abroad. You know what I mean? So this one should be good, and we're gonna be a student just like the viewers today, because none of us are, was aware before 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna be learning and really excited because I think what she is doing exemplifies the excellence that have come out of the Virgin Islands. So this one gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good one. I'm excited. I know her family. This is my first time actually like meeting her. So where she's at. I'm a big I love sports. I follow sports. So where she's at. They have a good baseball program. She's with the big dogs now. So I'm just interested to hear her story and everything that comes along with what she's going to be doing at the university. So I'm just excited. Like we were just talking off camera with her. A lot of people make a lot of sacrifices. So that's why you mentioned it earlier with this platform. It's just good for people to just take the time, relax, have some fun, and just tell their story and relax. They deserve that because in this real world, you make a lot of sacrifices, you work hard, and sometimes it's good for people to acknowledge you and give you your flowers. So, I just can't wait to hear Dr. Kristene Kelly's story. And Pang, I'll let you do the honors because you worked so hard to get her on the platform. You put on your suit, your tie, and you got it going. So we appreciate you. I know the viewers appreciate what you did. And what's the young lady name that got you
Janae.
connected with Janae? Big up to Janae as well too. Much love to you, Janae. And good night to all the viewers as well. So Pang, you could go ahead and do the honors and introducing.
Well, to the viewers, I know we are a little late. You know what I'm saying? And we probably talk a little longer than we wanted to, but we had a lot to say about Kristene because Dr. Kristene, because she really doing a good job out there, and her hard work is paying off. And without further ado, we bring to you Dr. Kristene Kelly.
Hello. Oh Lord, my voice.
It's okay. It's okay. We blame. That's our fault. We take so long to introduce you.
That's all right. That's all right. Listen, I'm excited to be here. So thank you for having me tonight.
Oh, no
Thank
problem,
you.
and no problem. So what we do here is we just bring a platform where you can share your story, get your name out there, get your word out there. We're pretty much the piggyback off of you.
Okay.
What we do is we just want you to start from the beginning, like from a little girl. Where you grew up, west or east?
West gal.
West, come
West.
on, Pang.
From a
Nah, I
little
didn't know
girl.
that.
My bad, my bad, my
I
bad.
didn't know either.
Like I said, I was a freshman to your story, so we learning from scratch. You know
Me
what I
too.
mean?
Yes,
Me too.
yes,
So
yes,
from a
yes.
little girl running around barefoot in West, we want
Yes.
to hear from the beginning.
That's okay. Well, here we go. Let me try it. So listen, I want the viewers to know my accent change. I go back and forth. Okay. So I could talk if I want to, or I could talk like this if I want to. Okay. So it depends on how I feel. So I don't want anybody to be like, oh, she a sellout, she this. It's nothing like that. I literally just change it however I want to. Shout out to my niece who just chimed in, Chanel. Some of you
Yeah.
know her. I call her nurse practitioner Chanel. So she and I always go back and forth because she is a what do you call people from Camp a Barracuda, and,
Yeah. Yeah.
Big up to the Barra Nation.
and I'm a Carib. So we'd always go back and forth. But that's my girl. Love her. So hi Chanel. Good evening.
Yeah. Big up to Chanel.
Yes. So Kristene Brathwaite Kelly, and let me tell you why I have to make sure to put the Brathwaite in there. Because when you grow up in the islands, if you ever make it anywhere and you don't acknowledge your name and where you come from and the people who are there who help you get to where you are, you like dirt. So
Right.
I make sure everybody know my middle name. My maiden name is Brathwaite. Okay. So that comes from Neville and Christina Brathwaite, the late Neville Brathwaite. My dad died about 10 years ago. And my mom, who still lives in St. Croix, still in Williams Delight. And don't get me started on my feelings about Hurricane Maria and why my mother still does not have a habitable home. But that's a
Wow.
we're gonna keep
Good.
it positive this evening, okay? Because I'm sure my mother is sleeping and she probably don't want me to be too unruly this evening.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Well,
Speak your
you don't
mind.
gotta be
Here we speak your
unruly
mind.
because we
I
don't-
will
we, we had
I will get
one
to that point.
we had one senator up here so far, so we don't mind you being unruly because
Well,
if you need to get a word out, you need to get a word out.
To get the word out because
It's too
here's my
long.
thought. My thought about all of this is at the end of the day, they always say once a man, twice a child, right? And our responsibility to our senior citizens and to ensure that they enjoy their golden years. My mother's 78 years old, did everything she needed to do. She, migrated from St. Lucia to St. Croix, has been in St. Croix for 60 years. St. Croix is her home. she will not go, but she went to St. Lucia once in the last 40 years. And that was last year when we went on a family cruise. But she has given her life to St. Croix. And for her to not have a habitable home, 3 years, okay, Hurricane Maria hit in September of 2017. We need to do better. We need to have a plan for our senior citizens because they are the ones who helped build St. Croix and all of our beautiful Virgin Islands. We owe it to them for them to enjoy the last few years that they have in this earthly life. But that's another story for another day. So I leave it at that. I just want my mother, as well as other senior citizens who are struggling because they can't afford to pay a high WAPA bill. That's another story. We ain't gonna go there. Or pay, your household insurance to be able to, your hazard insurance. Or do you buy your medicine? Like, what do? You have to have lights and water. So if you have a house that's already paid for, do you go get insurance? Or do you pay your WAPA bill so you have lights and water? Or do you get your medicine that you need, right? So, and as her children, we've done the best that we can. And I still have bills to pay, right? So I'm trying to help my mother any way that I can, but I don't have $200,000 sitting in my back pocket for me to go help her build a new home. So what are we doing to help our senior citizens? So anywho, that's it. Anything else? That's all.
I could tell.
Well said.
I could tell. I don't want to be on the other side of the room when you have to go deliver your argument statement to a senator, the landlord. I could tell. I don't want to be on the other side of the table with you.
Doing what's right. That's all it is. Because that's what we were taught, right? We were taught by our parents, by our teachers, by our coaches, by whoever to stand up for what's right. And I know in St. Croix, it's very political. Anywhere you go in the world is very political. But so-and-so become governor, so-and-so gonna get a job. So-and-so become senator, so-and-so gonna get a job. That's just how it is. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, whether you're Republican, Democrat, whatever, that's just how it is. But do what's right by the people who've put in the time and the energy to make St. Croix what it is. That's all that I'm saying. So if you're a senator and if you're going home and laying your head down at night and knowing that there are people out here that don't have habitable homes, you need to check the blood that's running through your veins to see whether or not it's, the same blood that runs through the rest of our veins. But Williams bottom is where I was raised. And I always say there's a difference between top, middle, and bottom. Okay, so my sister and I, Andrea Brathwaite, she teaches at Complex right now. We were like two peas in a pod. So everybody, the bus would drop us way at the top. And we used to have to walk home that long.
Yeah.
If you coming off the highway, our house is the first one on the left. So we had to walk the whole stretch. And people like, who were these St. Patrick's? They used to call us stinking panty smellers.
Yeah, stinking panty smellers. Yep.
So
and all of that.
You live next to the Jewels.
Yes, right after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and so if you ever drive by there, and I know y'all in the States, but if you ever drive by and you see our house, like our house was the first one that had a red and white wall. My father and mother took so much pride in their wall and all the stuff. Everything was red and white. As a matter of fact, our neighbors now have red and white walls because of what we used to have. So every time I see pictures, like my heart just hurts to know that this house has been here for so long and for it to be in the condition that it is now. So anyway, but after I begged my mother to go to public school in '94. My mother was, ain't no child of mine going to no public school, but she said it in her St. Lucian accent. So it's more like, me, no child of mine going to no public school. Not doing that. I work hard for this. So, but I begged her.
Did she ever tell you why? Did she give a reason why?
In her mind, she felt like she only had a 6th grade education, and she felt as if I meaning her, worked so hard. I want my kids to have the best of everything. And in their mind, the best was Catholic school.
Catholic school, yeah.
So that's how
it is on those islands, like St. Lucia, Antigua, St. Martin.
Exactly. And that's what she thought. So, me, as you said, Pang, that listen, you don't want to be on the other side with me when I'm trying to negotiate something. So I was like, Mommy, if I don't go to public school, I can't get scholarships, because at the time, a lot of the scholarships was only for public school children. School kids couldn't qualify. Now, mind you, to this day, and I'll tell the truth, 24 years later, I ain't applied for a single scholarship anywhere. I just wanted to go to public school because everybody else was going.
Right.
That's true. That was the place to be. That was the place to be. That was the place. Yeah.
And we shouted out Janae James, who was my girl to the end. We both ended up at, I met Janae at St. Joseph because she was coming from St. Mary's. I was coming from St. Patrick's. And, you know, we all converged at St. Joseph for public school, for high school. And she was my first friend that I met. So when she was going to Central, I'm like, I want to go Central. And it was a mass exodus that year from St. Joseph going to Central. And I was scared. I ain't gonna lie, Ayo. I was scared because I'm like, listen, I've been with the same 15 and 20 kids from kindergarten till 10th grade. And here I am now with all these public school children. They don't know nothing about me. And that year we were playing. And the one thing that united us was sport, was softball for me. So I played softball representing St. Joseph. And we were playing. I remember one year we were down in the West, rest in peace to Genix. And we were playing, yes, Karen Carty, go Saints. And we were playing in Dung and West. And we got into a fight, right? It was like the private school girls versus public school girls. This was literally a week or a couple days, may have been a couple days before I was supposed to stop at Central. So my first day, I told my mother, I'm sick. I can't go to school. I was so scared. And shout out to my girls, Rose and Lily Williams. I mean, them girls are some, from out Shabbat.
Yeah.
Shabbat.
And them girls could play some softball. They were some for
That's true.
But they would beat. I can't cuss, right? They'll beat your AWS.
Yeah.
So I was scared. And matter of fact, the second day I went to school, they had beat up some girls down there by the gym, and I'm like, oh my God.
Jeez.
I don't know what I was dealing with, but either which way, it was the best decision of my life was to go to Central, because in private school, at least in St. Croix, you learn the academic piece of it, right? Like, the formative years, you learn all the academic things and how to be strong academically. Not saying that didn't happen at Central. Of course it did. But at Central, you also had, you could skip classes and ain't nobody gonna ask you no questions. So it taught me responsibility and it taught me accountability to prepare me for college. Because after college, ain't nobody gonna ask you if you're going to school or not. You're gonna either flunk out and they're gonna send you home, or you're gonna do what's right. So the combination of St. Patrick's and St. Joseph and Central together, I think really made me understand and be a better student. Because I graduated high school at 16. So I went at 16 thinking I'm wet by the ears, but I thought I knew it all, honey. You couldn't tell me nothing. I knew it all. And I got there, and my first semester, I hated it. The first week, I cried every day, to the point where my roommate she called back home, and she was like, somebody needs to come get Kristene because I don't think she's going to make it.
Right.
Like, that's how hard it was. I mean, from the islands, we all won. There is no, this person don't like this person. So I get to this historically Black college. I didn't even know that's what it was. But I get there to Johnson C. Smith in Charlotte and realize that the people from DC don't like the people from Florida, who don't like the people from California, who don't like the people from New York. And I'm like, what the hell? We all won. We all Black people. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
I got involved.
You went to school with Bogus? Like the school Bogus went to, Bumba?
What's Bogus' real name?
Kevin Leibert.
Kevin Leibert.
He was there for a little bit, if I'm not mistaken.
I know that's the school he went to.
So Hassan West was there. Magoo, do y'all know Magoo? David Magoo.
Yeah, David. I know. Yeah.
There. Evelyn Beckles. I'm trying to remember who all was there. That one.
A lot of people from St. Croix went to Johnson C. Smith.
And the thing is, that's what happens. So when you have one person who do well, they will tell somebody else, and that's how it'll go. I got to Johnson C. Smith because of Sandy DeLeese. I don't know if y'all know Sandy. She
played basketball, softball.
Exactly. Yeah. And I wasn't going college. Let me be clear. You see Dr. This and all this right now. I wasn't going college. I was working at Carambola. That was my first job. I was making what I considered a lot of money. I was living my best life. And my mother was like, so don't you have some test you need to take tomorrow? Talking about the SAT. I was like, I guess, I don't know. And she was like, you need to go to college. I'm like, I'm not going to college. She said, yes, you are. And I said, no, I'm not. And she said, well, you ain't gonna be in my house. So you need to figure this out. So literally the next day, I said to myself, the next person who tell me what school they go to, if it's not too cold and not too far and I can get in, I'm going to go. And this is around Christmas time. So Sandy had just came home from her first semester at Johnson C. Smith. She came around the corner And I was like, hey, Sandy, what school you to go to? And that's how I ended up at Johnson C. Smith.
Oh, that's what's up. Sandy is my girl, my son. Sandy is one of the coolest person in the world.
Ooh,
And I don't mean just cool, you know, like she a good friend. You see Sandy walk, you see Sandy talk. She just got like this swag, you know what I mean? She just the coolest person in the world. But Sandy from Williams Delight too, right?
Williams Delight, massive. Let we go.
Right. Somebody said Bogo Swenson, Augustine.
Yeah,
okay,
that's Young. Yeah, Young went to. I think Young went Johnson C. Smith, if I'm not mistaken, too. Big up to Young.
A lot of people who ended up there, because we started with Sandy, then also Eunice Emmanuel. She was there too. She's also from Williams Delight. So I don't know, it's a Williams Delight Johnson C. Smith connection some way somehow, but it was good, and that's how I really got into athletics at that point. Because my first semester, I wasn't eligible, so I didn't have. I would compete that year because nobody taught us compliance. Nobody taught us eligibility rules. You just showed up. You just did whatever you had to do. So I'm not a good test taker. So I got like an 800 on SAT. I didn't study for it or anything. And I didn't take it again because I was too busy working at Carambola, making money and enjoying my life, living my best life. Going driving, jamming to jam band and Vio and I was living my best life at that point. So which way, I ended up doing a lot of sports when I got to Johnson C. Smith and enjoyed every minute of it from that second semester till I graduated. And it provided me so many opportunities to travel, to meet different people, to just understand the business. Because what people don't understand, I don't care what level you are, you could be junior college, NAIA, D1, D2, D3, it's still a business. You still have to, there's still the bottom line that you have to achieve. Now, granted, now I'm at Vanderbilt. I'm at a much bigger institution that has an $86 million budget. So our numbers just have a lot more zeros behind it. C. Smith, we may have had $1 million, but you're still a business. And that's the one thing that I had an opportunity to learn while I was there. So that's in a nutshell, my career, my life. And, we could talk if you want to about how I got to where I am, but I figured I would stop for a second.
That's okay. I gonna take it back for a second. You mentioned that you played softball and you played on the Genix, and like how was that growing up playing softball, and despite that you went to private school, and I know most of the people that you play, well, you said it was private school versus public school
for a little while, and then they realized we're stronger together than we are apart. So yeah, so we all.
Who was your coach?
Kleber Titus started with him. Well, he was there, and then what is the man name? Somebody put it in the chat. Oh my gosh, he used to date a white woman. What is his name? Oh my goodness.
Mama, you don't know because I ain't gonna know.
No.
I think it's Hurley is his name. Hi, Colleen.
Yeah. Hurley. You're right.
Hurley and Kleber Titus, and honestly, thank goodness for Titus, because I'm telling you, Hurley, he had the public school girls. Like that's who he was focused on. And then it was people like me and Jillian Rose and a couple others who were private school girls. And we were like, we just wanted to be a part too. And I mean, Titus was really the main person that said, we are one. We are stronger together. Like, and he would work with us after practice, before practice. He would continue working with us for us to get up to the speed of the public school girls. So now I feel like I'm a public school girl too.
So you mentioned Rose and Lily.
Yes.
I'm not glorifying fighting, or like how did that all come about? Like what stir up were they trying to, because they went public school, were they trying to bully y'all and y'all won't having it? Like how did all that started?
So there was a little bit of that, but not much. So we had one girl who went private school. Her name is Donna. I can't remember what Donna's last name is, but Donna grew up in Grove.
Lorraine. She grew up in Lorraine. Yes, I know Donna.
And Donna, she ain't gonna take no foolishness. Like you ain't gonna come to her, try to outstep her, out anything her. She was like, I'm supposed to be here just like y'all supposed to be here. And I don't know if she said something, they said something, but I know towards the end of the game, as we were like shaking hands or something, one thing led to another and the fight happened. And again, all of them, so it was Annalisa, Jensen, Donna, all of them who they were going back to St. Joseph. I was going Central and had to go with the girls
Yeah.
who I've been in a fight with. So it was crazy. But I mean,
Did I have a Gwendolyn and I team?
yes, Gwendolyn David, you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe I know that team name. You know. I believe I know that team name that you talking
Oh, yes, we
I
are. Listen,
about.
it was interesting, but I'm telling you, Rose and Lily, I have nothing but respect for them. When I tell you them, they're some serious athletes.
That's true.
They elevated my game. They made me a better person and a better athlete because it was like you had to earn your spot. Don't think because I think sometimes people felt like if you went to a private school, you feel like you better than, or you live bottom, so you feel like you better than the people who live top. No, ain't nothing like that. And I think that was a little bit of a rivalry that happened there, but they definitely made me a better athlete. Shout out to Tama Lake, Jackie, like I said, Kanisha, Renice, like all
Yeah.
the people, they were some serious athletes. Jusel Morales. I mean,
Yeah.
like they
Good. Yeah. Some real good players.
real good players. So
Yeah.
I thank them because they're the ones who helped me really become a better player and ended up playing in college. So
When was Sabah? When did that end for you?
when did it end? You said?
Yeah. Sabah. Yeah.
So I graduated in 2000. I graduated college in 2000. I played maybe 2 or 3 years after that, like just regular like club ball. But I was playing from the time I was 13 or 14, maybe 13. And because I don't know if you remember in 94, we had a Virgin Islands softball team that represented the entire Virgin Islands that went to Peoria, Illinois. And we played to represent the Virgin Islands in the Junior World Championships. Like we played people from Australia,
Oh, wow.
like you name it. And it was an amazing experience to do that. So what you talk about playing, I played woman league, just a regular like youth league. You played school ball. You played, yes, Lee Sherman was one of the coaches. You played all these, like I played softball literally hours a day. And I loved it. I loved it. And I still love it, but I just don't play it anymore. I like to lift weights now and run and do other things.
When you went to college, did you think about trying out for the team?
I thought I was just gonna play because my sister, I didn't really know much about college really. So I was like, well, nobody recruited me. I don't know nothing about this. So I'm just gonna play on the like club team, the intramural team. But I got there and they were like, they saw me catching. They're like, you can really play. We need you to come out here. And that's one thing led to another. But I wasn't eligible that first year. So I traveled with the team. I did their and I learned a lot of that being at Central because on the back end of things, like with basketball tournaments and volleyball tournaments, I wanted to be back at the concession stand, like selling popcorn. And like that was kind of my thing. So I guess my love for sport and the business of sport probably started at Central.
Yeah, that's what's up. How did you get into baseball? I wanted to ask you that. Like how did that all started for you?
So I've always loved the baseball, softball thing. I've always loved it. I used to watch, like I was a huge Atlanta Braves fan. And one day at St. Patrick's, and this is a ridiculous story, but they were advertising for a baseball team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say boys or girls, they were just advertising for a baseball team. So me and my best friend at the time, Keisha Johnson from Dung and what's the name of that place when Dung and West? I can't remember. Like when you come right off the highway before you get to
White Lady.
Say it again?
White Lady.
White Lady, yes, up in the White Lady area. So me and Keisha, I was like, Keisha, listen, they advertising for a baseball team. We need to go try out. So she was like, okay. And I told my father, I was like, Daddy, the flyer says you need a cup. And he was like, that's for boys. I was like, no, Daddy, I need a cup. So he took me to Hannah's Rest. Thank you, Chanel. So we went to the Sunshine Mall. And I think Foot Locker, one of the things was Champs. And my father bought me a cup. So here, and I told Keisha, you need to have a cup too. So here we are showing up the baseball practice with a freaking cup. And we're wearing it. Like, it was the craziest thing. But I would say my love kind of started there and then got into the like playing with the different leagues, the woman league, the different leagues. And it just kind of went, one thing led to another and just love it. So yes, that's how it started, me going to a baseball tryout with a cup.
That's
I,
funny.
I honestly, I don't know. With I honestly thought you were going to say I wear the cup outside your pants. That's what I thought you were going to say.
I think we did. If I'm
Oh,
not
you wear it on the outside.
outside. And my thought, I was like, okay, because you feel like you know everything.
Wow.
I don't know if you do it the way you want to do it. And people were laughing at us like, you can't be serious right now.
Yeah, because
Oh,
it had this strap and everything, and you put the cup into the pocket. Yeah.
so
Listen,
how everybody look at you when you look at the eye when I pull up?
like we were crazy, the son. Like it was ridiculous. It was at Polly Joseph Stadium too. Was where the practice was. Like, oh my gosh, yeah. It was. Yes,
Somebody get those pictures. Somebody get those photos.
Please.
did. I wish that one thing, if I could go backwards, I wish that we took more pictures. Because that's the one thing, like, I don't have a whole lot of pictures. People will like tag me in different things. And I'm like, oh my God. I saw a picture from me with me at Central. Maybe, I guess it must have been my senior year with Jillian Rose and Felicia Rogers and Melissa Shan. I guess she's Melissa Simmons now, but Melissa Shan.
Yeah.
And it was the four of us standing there. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never seen this before. But I love stuff like that. Janae, I see you, Janae. Yes, Keisha knows this story. But yeah, so it was, I just wish we took more pictures back then, but not a whole lot. So that's the part that sucks.
I'm surprised I don't know you. Being that Janae was your friend, because
Yes.
I wouldn't basketball and some of the volleyball and softball girls had a little circle because a lot of the basketball girls played
Like
softball and
Pauline,
baseball. And
Pauline Humphrey.
I was with one of the basketball players and that played softball and baseball. So like that's how I know Janae. And me and Janae
Yeah.
so cool because we used to hang in a little circle.
Yep.
And I'm surprised I may have come across you at some point, but just don't remember. But
Maybe could have been. And I don't know. Do you know Sherry Galloway?
Sherry Galloway.
Sherie. She was from way out east. But she and I were like two peas in a pod. Like wherever you saw Sherry, you saw me. I saw
Light skin?
No, she had a little bit than me, but not light skin.
No, then
I'm also, if I could find that other picture, I may put it on the screen where you could see me at Central with Melissa and Felicia and
that's one of them pictures you could have sent me that I was asking.
And I just forgot. Honestly, I did, and I forgot. So I'll try to pull it up on my Facebook and maybe put it to the screen up here in a second. But no, like, listen, I love St. Croix. I couldn't live in St. Croix anymore, but I love St. Croix. Anybody who know me, I'm always VI massive. Like anything, anywhere you go, I still wear my my Crouge and Gold braid every day.
Nice.
Like it's always VI massive for me. Anybody who knows me, they know where I'm from. They know what I'm pushing every single day. Like I love the fact that the Paradise Jam is in St. Thomas, but I'm like, what about St. Croix? Why can't St. Croix have a Paradise Jam too? We need some of these teams to come here because we need the economy to be boosted up a little bit more. So anywho, but that's another story.
Well, they need a facility for that. So that hopefully that's somewhere down the pipeline. But you seem like you have a personality that St. Croix is just too small for. You seem like you
listen.
You seem like you want to travel the world. You want to you taking on. I'm surprised you run out the crowd at the Donald Trump and Joe Biden debate, like things like that. You know what I mean?
So if you follow me on Twitter, right, you'll see some of the things that I say. And I try to be, politically correct most of the time. But I'm so annoyed with that whole situation. Like, it's just ridiculous to me. Like, that was a mess yesterday. But no, St. Croix is my heart. Like, the one thing that I would love to do, well, two things. One, and I told Rashidi this the other day, was I want to start a scholarship in St. Croix. And for students to go to college, it may not be much at first. It may just be like $1,000, but I know what $1,000 can do for students. That's the difference between you being registered and unregistered. So that's one thing that I plan to get going relatively soon. And I had to get my first paycheck first. I'll get that going. And then the second thing that I do want to do is I do want to buy a home in St. Croix. Obviously, I'll try to do whatever we can to keep my mother's house. Like, I ain't gonna let that go. But I do want to buy a second home in St. Croix. Why? Because it's too important to me that we continue to sell our property and our land to people who aren't from there.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's true.
like I was watching, sometimes I wake up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I was watching Caribbean Life, and I'm watching, it's always St. Croix. I get excited about it. And I'm like, where the hell these houses these people buying?
Right.
Like,
And we say the same
I
thing.
be watching it too. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
how do you get to these places that they get into? So I'm like, no, the collective, we need to keep our properties and our land in our families and within our culture. So if I could find a way to do that somehow, because I have a 17-year-old son who's going to college next year, so he's going to take a lot of my money. But
That's true.
I can find a way for that to happen. That's what I want to do. So to my young people out there, if you listen in, all I'm going to tell you, I don't care if it's you and your 6 brothers or your friends or whoever, do not forego paying your property taxes, because it's not a matter of the structure that's on the property, it's the land. The value of the land is what people want. Pay your property taxes. Do what you need to do so that becomes in your home. Because if you don't do that, gentrification will happen. And if you look across America, gentrification is happening. If you look at some Black colleges, and most of them are centered in lower income neighborhoods. And if you go to some of them now, 20 years ago, it didn't look like that. Now, a house that was $20,000 now going for $500,000. And they ain't going to people that look like you or me. So we need to do and pay your property taxes.
Part of Orlando near downtown. That's happening right now.
It's scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
Like pricing people out. But they can only price you out if you allow it. So if knock on wood, if you had a grandparent or somebody who passed away and you ain't paying the property taxes, they will say to you, oh, well, they're going to either foreclose that property, or they're going to try to offer you to buy the house, because all these investors are buying houses. They're going to offer you $40,000. And to some of us who ain't never seen money, who never had money, we're going to take it. What? Yeah. And they're going to take that same 40 and flip it, make 400,000 off of your 40,000.
That's true.
That's my spill on that.
No, that's good information. That's good information. It's true. You talking nothing but facts.
Right. We might need you to come on and drop gems every once in a while, man.
Listen, let me know. I am all about it. Like, I see you, Kibo. I see you up there. I'm all about it, because I want people to do what's right. Like, everybody talks about home ownership, and yes, home ownership is a lot. Like, my husband and I we had 2 properties we bought, I don't know, 17, 18 years ago. And we just sold it recently, just because we don't live in North Carolina anymore. We weren't going back anytime soon. But eventually we're going to buy another house again. But those 2 properties, and without putting my entire business out there, is enough profit that my son could choose to go to whatever school he wants to go to. And I don't have to worry about how I'm paying for it. So there's a level of taking care of yourself for the next chapter in your life, but also taking care of your children. Like, the best gift I can give my son is for him to graduate college debt free.
Right.
That's true.
Give him ain't no car, no Jordans, no nothing. Give him that type of thing, because guess what? His mother's still paying student loans, and paying them for a very long time. So unless some miracle come from God and we don't have to pay student loans anymore, but it is what it is, and it's a sacrifice you make to make a better life for yourself and for your children. So that's what we're doing.
Man, that's good, man. One thing I always regret is not getting more into finance as a younger, like, being at a student. For any young kids that's watching, or anybody that have young kids that are getting ready to go to college, tell them, and anybody approach them about any credit card, or because they're going to start coming. Wonder how these people get your mailing address, but they're gonna find your child in college, and they're gonna get all kind of mail regarding sign up for this credit card, sign up for that credit card, because they're ready to just ruin your credit unless you're responsible and not responsible like me. Because what I heard credit card, I didn't know much about it. I just knew it was money on it that I didn't have to work for. And I'm going to spend it. You know what I mean?
Free money.
I had to learn the same thing. And while we know having a credit card will help your credit, you need to get a secured credit card that a limit of like $300, $500, whatever. And that's how you build your credit. And if it's secured, then that means your money is on that account. So it doesn't run up any bill or anything, because it's your money creating your credit limit. So if you do those things, that's better. But don't get into no unsecured things that's, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10,000. Is it, if you're responsible and you can have a $10,000 credit card for emergencies that happen, okay, fine. But if you ain't responsible, if money burning a hole in your pocket because you need to get the latest Jordans and you need to get the latest big chain and you got to get this car and this and that, and you need to leave it alone. If you can't pay cash for it, leave it alone.
True.
It took me a while to learn that. I'm not trying to make it seem like I was always this refined. Listen, no, I was the same way. I wanted to oh shit, excuse me, sorry.
No, you good. You good.
you got money on this card. Go buy this. Go buy that. My husband was like, listen, no, we cannot do this. He's frugal. Now my husband is from Mississippi, right? So he country as all get out, but the man is frugal. He don't spend nothing unless he can't, unless he has no other choice. Like this, we made to Tennessee. We had to front the move first and then be reimbursed for it. And he's in there cringing when he looking at his credit card because of how much money we had to spend to get here. And so luckily, I got reimbursed today, so I can give him the money to go pay the card, and then he could relax again. He's like, listen, it's too close to the limit.
Which part of Mississippi are you from?
He's from Philadelphia, Mississippi, which is about 20 minutes from Meridian, about an hour and a half from Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
So y'all saw
Mississippi had a Philadelphia.
They do.
Yeah.
So when you tell people I'm from Philadelphia and he country as hell, right? So people will be like, you ain't from Philadelphia. He's like, ha, Mississippi, that is. I'm like, sir.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But no, he's definitely somebody. I met him when I was in college. Probably shouldn't say the story out loud, but whatever. And he was an assistant coach.
For what? Assistant coach for
football.
Football.
Yes, I learned everything I know about football from him. Everything.
I still learning, so you probably know more than I do.
It's like to me it's easier to learn than basketball, but like I love football. I need it in my life to be able to watch it. My son don't play, but I love watching it. It's and like I tell you, I'm just real. Like I'll tell you like it is. No, you should not be dating your coach. So nobody think that that's what should be happening. Not at all. But
it happens a lot. It happens a lot though. So
it does. It really
and there
does.
are a lot of people who are married now who
that's true.
Met in those types of circumstances. But if you ask me publicly, I met him on May 6, 2000, which is the day I so that's my public answer.
So after graduating college, where did that journey take you?
So my father was like, you need a real job. Like this whole waitressing thing that you're doing at the restaurant and all that's not what I help you go to college for. So you need a real job. So I ended up working at Parks and Rec as like a recreation leader. So like planning programs and stuff like that at a rec center, a large rec center. And I hated it. Like I got there and after the first 3 months, I was like, oh God, I need to go somewhere. So I ended up going to graduate school at Tennessee. And what happened is, grad school, you have to apply a year in advance. So I got in 2000, but I couldn't start until 2001. So I worked my 9 or 10 months at Parks and Rec and was vowed I would never go back. And 20 years later, I have not gone back. Passion has always been college athletics. So when I got to Tennessee, believe it or not, they were looking for minorities. They were trying to, hit a quota. And they don't know that I noticed, but I ended up I saw like a memo back then. And it was one of the minutes had said that they were looking for more diverse, like trying to increase their diversity in their graduate assistants. I'm like, I don't give a damn if y'all just, bringing me and hiring me because I'm Black, because I'm a woman. I could care less. If you paying for this school, I'm coming. And that's what I did. So, I mean, I'm sure I got in because of all these other things, but I'm sure part of it was because I was Black and I was a woman. Right. I could that means there's less money I'm paying out of my pocket. So I ended up at Tennessee and did that for a year. And at the time, I was like, I can't do none of these because they weren't Power Fives back then. It was called like Top 25. And Tennessee was a huge commercial enterprise. I remember one day they were a Adidas school. And I remember one day I walked in with Nikes and they ripped me a new asshole for wearing Nike and not having Adidas. And I mean, it was that type of environment. I was there for a year. Then I ended up going back to Johnson C. Smith, and I was a full-time sports information director there because I was a sports information intern for the 4 years I was an undergraduate. So doing all the stats,
Yeah.
the website, stuff like that. And
Trouble with the teams and all that stuff, right?
Yep. So then I ended up doing that full time when I got back to Johnson C. Smith in 2002. But I wanted more. So I stayed there for 6.5 years. And all I wanted to be was the assistant athletic director for marketing. That's all I wanted. And they could not see me past being a student. And that's hard. This is your alma mater, this is a place that you love, and they love you, but only in this capacity. So I kept volunteering for different things within our conference office. And one thing led to another. St. Augustine's, which is where Usain Bogas went to school, Kevin Liebert. And their president was looking for an associate athletic director. And one thing led to another. It was all word of mouth. She saw me and saw how I was interacting. And she was like, that's somebody that I want working for me. That's how I ended up at St. Aug and did that for 7 years. And that was a story. Listen, I could write a book on my time at St. Aug. It was a lot. And then I knew I wanted to be an athletic director. Like that was what I wanted to do. So when the position came at Keene State in New Hampshire, first of all, I was like, where the hell is New Hampshire on the map? Like, where this is at all. And I was like, ooh, that's way up there. But, I talked to my husband about it and he was like, listen, I'm behind you. And let me be clear, that's a lot for a man to do. For a man to step away from his career and the things that he wants to do in life to support his spouse or his wife. Like that's huge because men have egos. Y'all got egos.
Right.
But
yeah,
that's huge for him. And he's continued to do that over the last however many years. And it's proven to be financially a good decision. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah.
But he ended up, coming with me to New Hampshire. And we did that for 4 years. But in 2 years after being the athletic director at a Division III school there, my name started getting out and Dartmouth College called. Now, granted, the Ivy League don't let just anybody in. Okay. Like that ain't something that happens very often. So when that came, I was like, yeah.
They reached out to you personally?
So a guy who used to work there, the AD at the time was he really wanted to diversify his staff and he had an opening. So he knew he don't know enough Black people to that extent. I mean, he was being honest, he didn't. So he reached out to somebody who he knew, and that person reached out to me, and one thing led to another. And at that time, I had an offer to become the assistant vice president at my current job at Keene State, and I had another offer at another school in CIAA to become an athletic director, and then this position at Dartmouth, all at the same time.
Wow.
Woo! What do you do?
That's tough.
It was tough, but I also realized I stand on a lot of people's shoulders and a lot of people would stand on my shoulders. So I needed to take that position at Dartmouth so they could see, listen, this island girl who went to a historically Black college too can work at an Ivy League school. Like I don't have to have attended an Ivy League school to be able to speak eloquently and fit into a room. So anyway, did that for 2 years. And while I was there, Vanderbilt came calling and that's where I'm at. So that's in a quick nutshell. There's a lot of little ins and outs that goes along with it, but in a nutshell, that's my career. But I can't tell you the number of interviews I went on to be an athletic director that came back saying, no. But each time you get knocked down, you have to get back up twice as many times. So it ain't gonna be like, I'm always gonna soar. Sometimes you gotta go up and down. You gotta deal with the ebbs and flows of life. But just understand that if you're passionate about what you do, if you are good at what you do, if you live with integrity and be who you are and stay true to who you are, you're going to be fine. And my success is not Mumba's success, is not Pang's. Like everybody's success is different. And I think you mentioned that at the beginning of the call about the episode before, that success doesn't mean me being at an SEC school or me making this kind of money or whatever. Success is whatever you define success as. So don't compare my success to anybody else's success. And I just, I want people to understand that success means different things to different people.
It does.
That's true. So how was that feeling when you had the offer from Vanderbilt University?
Listen, when she said the salary or just the offer?
Both.
It,
No,
No,
just the
you're not
just
the
the
salary,
yeah,
just the
just
offer.
yeah, the
just
opportunity to
Yeah.
it was amazing because like months before, right? When Candace Story Lee is the athletic director. She's the first and only Black female athletic director in the Southeastern Conference. So that in itself is already historic. And my husband had said to me, this is months ago, he said, what if Candace called you and asked you to be her number two? And I'm like, man, Candace don't know me. I don't know her. Like, that ain't gonna happen. And literally fast forward 2.5 months later, that's exactly what happened. I was like, you got some superpowers. Like, are you gonna tell me that we can win the lottery or something? Like, what is happening here? But when my spirit instantaneously meshed with hers. And it wasn't like I didn't have to leave Dartmouth because I don't know if you know, I had just gotten promoted at Dartmouth in February. So when I got to Dartmouth, I was a senior associate athletic director. So I was working under an executive. Unfortunately, my direct supervisor passed away from pancreatic cancer. And I guess I had done such a good job, they ended up promoting me into his role. So executive associate means I oversaw all of the operational side of varsity sports. So at Dartmouth, we had 35 sports, 35 plus, so like 1,000 student athletes and all of that. I had just gotten promoted. My husband and my son and I had just moved to the area in May. Had just moved. I'm not going to tell you the number, but we had just paid a certain amount of money for my son to go to prep school in 1,000, okay, to go to prep school. Yeah. So we were committed to being at Dartmouth. But I always tell people, and I'm a very spiritual person. I'm a cussing Christian, but I'm still spiritual. And I was like, but God. And then this position came at Vanderbilt and everything lined up. Everything. We had signed a lease. We had signed a 2-year lease at a place in New Hampshire. We got out of our lease without having to pay double rent. My son got into another private prep school in this area. They were maxed out in terms of their enrollment, but he still got in. We were able to find a house on our house hunting trip. So I say all of that when things are lined up the way it's supposed to be, everything is going to fall into place. So when that offer came, I couldn't say no because I have a responsibility to make sure Candace looks good. Because as Black women, we don't get opportunities to screw up.
It's true.
So, and I'm not making this about race. I'm just saying the truth of the matter is white men will they'll get recycled. They'll leave. They'll get fired today and they'll have another job tomorrow. Black women, if we screw up, we don't get another opportunity. We just don't. So the fact that I could be here in a position that helps Candace do the things that she needs to do to be successful, I had to do it. And she's one of my sorors. So she's, a member of the best, and I say the best sorority that exists, Delta Sigma Theta. So shout out to all my sorors out there who may be listening to this podcast here. I had to put that plug in. And a shameless shout out to my sister Andrea, who pledged Zeta Phi Beta. Like, really? Who does? I'm just kidding. Shout out to everybody that's in any sort of sorority that's out there. You have to put in the work, and I have a responsibility to help other people. And when you're in a position of influence, you have to help other people. Y'all have a gift, right? You have this gift of doing this webcasting and all this stuff. You don't know how many people are listening that probably wish they had the personality that you guys do, that wish they had the ambition that you do, that wish they had the technological skills that you do, that wish they could articulate the way that you do. Y'all have a responsibility to help other people, to elevate other people, and to tell the message and give people a space to deliver their message and have a voice. So thank you for what y'all do, because y'all are the definition of success. So thank you for even just having me here, but I had to make sure I publicly said that to anyone who was listening, because y'all have a gift that a lot of people don't have.
Oh, no, we appreciate you even taking the time out to sit with us. We look at you guys as the success stories and the honoraries, and the viewers, because without people taking the time to sit down and watching the show, there's no us. If we come out here and nobody listening, then 2 weeks, 3 weeks in, well, Mumba, we gotta give this up, man. Nobody's interested,
But you keep pushing. You got to keep pushing.
Yes.
I tell my nephew that all the time. He is I don't know if you've heard ISB band, and Daddy Toasty or ISB band featuring Toasty. I think that's the name of it. Back in St. Croix, but that's my nephew's band. And he has been like them boys is, I think with all the killings and all the crazy stuff that's happening in St. Croix and across the Virgin Islands, but I can only speak for St. Croix. When you see young men doing great things and doing positive things, you have to uplift them. You have to give them, the praise. And I want to say to those young men with the ISB band, listen, y'all doing it. Y'all have me jamming. Listen, I'd be in New Hampshire. People are like, what the hell is wrong with this woman? I mean, I'm in the gym, like getting it, jamming to everything. Hello, Jonathan. Would you like to come say hi? Come on, come over here and say hi. Just come say hi. You gotta get down here. So that's my son.
What's his? You say his name is Jonathan?
Yes, Jonathan. You want to come sit up?
Big up to Jonathan. Big up to Jonathan.
Sit down. Say hi right quick. All right.
I have to say it in the Korean accent.
No, this is a podcast. Just say hello.
Hello, everybody. How you guys?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good,
man. We good.
So let me hear your best. Let me hear your best VA accent. Say what you're saying, my son.
I don't want it to sound offensive though, because I can't.
No, it's okay.
Don't offend us at all.
No, you good.
Say something. Say something that what your cousins have said.
Say tree instead of
tree.
That's the popular one.
He knows more than that. He just playing. He knows more than that. All right, let me my thing. Goodbye. Thank you. Hope you had a good day.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. Okay. So I see that level of you got to balance it all, right? Like one thing about my son and my husband, they could care less. You doctor whoever, you whatever, they could care less. They're like, listen, you're my mother, you're my wife, period.
Yeah.
What time is dinner gonna be ready? And that's it. Like they could care less about what I do, which is good because that's humbling.
Right.
And
yeah, that's true.
You to still be who you are. Like I'm looking at my sister them right now texting me, and I appreciate my sister and Mumba. You know my sister who is Miss Richards. She used to be the principal at St. Croix Educational Complex and counselor and longtime educator in St. Croix. But she was one of my first teachers, and she did not play with anything. She wanted to make sure her little sisters were top notch. And my sister is 17 years older than me. So my mom had some issues having kids after she had my older sister. So there was like a gap for like 15 years. So she was like our mother more so than our sister. But when I say she's strict, anybody who knows Miss Richards, they know she is strict.
So what she could teach, or what did she teach?
You know her.
You know Miss Richards. She was a
Miss Richards
complex, and then she was an assistant. Before that, she was an assistant principal, and before that, she was a counselor at complex for like 15 years. Just young Indian. Here she's always have it like wrapped up, and she's really strict. Like if you know,
I don't remember Miss Richards. She was there when I was there, Mama.
Yeah, she was there. Her office was you know what we used to be at, but in front of the office while the Westman used to hang before school start. Then you go towards the.
But I used to hang by the vocational side.
Yeah, but remember when school had just started, when like in the morning before we had to go to class, we would be standing in front of the office.
Okay.
And if you make the right to go towards the special ed classes, and the right, her office was right there to go in, like the backside of VLA office.
Okay, I don't know. Wait,
you're gonna have to show me a picture.
Yeah. Can you see that?
Oh yes.
That's Miss Richards, and then that's my sister Andrea. Yeah. But people. I mean, that's when my niece, her daughter is up here. Like she was strict. My sister is strict, and she always has been that way. But the one thing I could say, she wanted the youth of the Virgin Islands to be well represented, to be well educated, so that they could do things for themselves. Because people always feel like, oh, are you from an island? You backwards. The kind of strippiness I've heard when I first got to the States, like, do y'all have houses, or do you live in a hut, or
do you have cable?
You have cable?
All kind of crazy stuff.
All kind of stuff.
Stupid questions. Like, no, we know how to do a whole lot of things. Just like when we didn't have. So when I moved to Nashville, I had movers from hell, right? So we had like 2 weeks where didn't have anything. I'm like, listen, we had Hurricane Hugo, where you had to learn how to wash your clothes outside and do all of that. Ain't nothing wrong with me putting some water in a bathtub and putting some detergent in it and washing my clothes by hand. Like
Yeah.
I okay, I mean, it is what it is. I've been in the States for 24 years, but trust me, I have island roots and I know how to survive.
Right.
It is. But the same
That's true.
stupid dumb questions that would be up there. Are you guys from Jamaica? No, more than one Caribbean island.
Hey, I
Like,
don't understand that. Why that gotta be the
no.
first place that you got asked? Jamaica.
Always.
Your accent, you got asked if you from Jamaica.
And it's
And
so
I
it's
know VI
Jamaica or the
people
Bahamas.
hate that.
I hate
Bahamas.
it.
Or then when Rihanna was really popular, it was, or are you from Barbados? Like,
Right.
there are other islands, people. Like, thank God for like our city and them who've been able to put the Virgin Islands on the map. And I'm like, we just have to keep doing it, keep telling our story, keep highlighting people, and the work that y'all doing is just amazing. And I'm glad I found you because now I can listen to y'all every week and listen to other people and hear their stories. But we just have to keep telling it and keep bigging up the Virgin Islands. I need our economy to get back to where it was. Like, that's what I want in my heart of hearts. I want my nieces and nephews to have the type of upbringing that I had, where we were such a community, where we weren't killing for killing's sake, man. I would rather get in a fight with Rose and Lily every day than get shoot up or do some shit.
Because
That's
are you
true.
gonna get in a fight, see each other the next day, and talk and go hang out like that ain't happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Now is like, I read something about some girl who got in a fight and somebody like follow her in a car and shoot and kill her like a couple days ago or something. I'm like, what?
Sad.
Yeah, I'd be late to the party when it comes to the violence, my son. I'd try to stay away from that stuff. Just even hearing it, because it's sad, man.
Yeah, sad. Yeah.
It
Just
hurts.
recently.
We all have brothers and sisters or nieces or nephews or just cousins or friends or whoever. You want them to just have a good experience. Like, there's nothing like growing up on an island. You know, like, all of my parties happen at a beach. What do you mean? Of course.
Right.
Beach party, a wedding reception, you this, you that. Everything was at the beach and I loved it. I miss not having access to a beach every day. I miss not being able to Villa Morales and have my, if y'all don't eat pork, I'm sorry, but having those pork plate with seasoned rice and having a little bit of the fruit punch that you can only get at Villa Morales or Paquitos, or
Paquitos had that food.
I mean, like, I miss that. And I just there's so much of growing up on an island that people would say, man, your home is like my dream vacation.
Right.
Our place, that's our home. It's our home. And I just want these kids to understand that, man. I'm tired of coming home and go visit my father's grave and freaking Kings Hill Cemetery. Like, they outgrowing the whole cemetery.
True.
To bury people no more.
Yeah.
With dates of birth that are so young.
So young.
It's, oh my gosh, like, it's
sad.
Really, really hard. And these kids have so much potential. And that's why I feel like through sport, you could help some of these kids. And because at least for those few hours of the day, they ain't doing craziness. They're on the basketball court or the football field or the soccer field or whatever it is. For those few hours that we can control them and make sure they ain't out there doing nothing crazy. So however I could help the islands, I'm going to try my best to do it. But
and that's all it takes. It takes it starts from a small group of people to come up with something, and we just branch out and everybody get involved, because it's like it's cliche, but it takes a village to raise a child. One child.
True.
But it's true.
Kristene, who left the States and came back to St. Croix and started neighborhood pharmacy and all the good things that she's doing for St. Croix. I mean, the work that Keisha does, and she did get vilified day in and day out. People don't understand. They don't understand business. And you can't really fault people who don't really understand with small businesses and what it takes to run a business. I mean, I don't even understand it, but I know certain things that, people have to pay. And, people are like, start to talk about her and treat her like crap. And I'm like, do you know the kind of things that she does? Like, come on, man. She's trying to help the Virgin Islands. She's trying to help us Crucian people. We have to help each other, though.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure whatever business she in, people don't realize how expensive it is to import stuff in the Virgin Islands. It's real expensive. So in order for her to make a profit, she probably may have to, the prices might be different than it is up here, because she had to pay a lot of money to get it down there. So
always trying to get things, tell me as my customers, what do y'all want? I'll get it for you. But people, I could get quicker from Amazon. Listen, I am so tired of my sister them ordering stuff from Amazon to my house, and I'm having to ship it.
Ship it, yeah.
Because Walmart don't ship, Amazon don't ship, or whoever don't ship.
Yep.
So I like my husband keep thinking I ordering all these things. I'm like, I'm not. But no, that's the only way to get stuff there, or sending boxes of things that my nieces and nephews need, or I mean, it takes a village. It absolutely does. And whatever I could do, I only have one child, but I have 7 nieces and nephews. And if they need anything, they know they can call Auntie Chrissy, and she will make sure they have it.
She will make it happen.
We have to. We are all together. Like there may be things I need them for, and so either which way. That's my life. And I'll give you a quick little tidbit. So my nephew's grandparents are the Shabbats. So like, the whole Ralph D. Shabbat community, well, it's no longer Shabbat anymore, but what it used to be, like that's his whole grandfather. That's his side of the family. So I have a little bit, it's weird. Like I'm connected in so many freaking ways. It's definitely interesting. So that's a little bit about me.
So go ahead, Pan.
I was gonna ask, what are your duties for all the non-athletic directors like me? What are your duties as an athletic director? What are you responsible for?
So everything internal. So if you think of, and this may not happen at smaller institutions, but at larger institutions, the health and safety and well-being of our student athletes is critical. So everything from, compliance, academics in terms of eligibility, but compliance and academics kind of come together. Whether it's Title IX, whether it's sports psychology, sports nutrition, strength and conditioning, athletic training, just different coaches. I oversee five of our teams. We have 16 teams, and I oversee 5 of those. And recruiting, budgeting, scheduling, you name it, marketing, all of that together.
Well, so if a basketball team want to participate in a tournament, and they want to see how much funds available to, you will be the one to.
So we still have business people, the finance people that could tell you all the numbers and all that stuff. But I would look at the kind of like the general overview of their budget and see if it makes sense. Looking at their RPI, looking at where the rankings are, looking at travel. Are they going to be missing too many classes? Like there's so many factors that go into place before you put together a schedule. How many days of rest are they going to have in between one game and another game? When you go to like place like the Paradise Jam, you can only do it once every 4 years. So you're not going to see a Vanderbilt at the Paradise Jam year in and year out. You can only go to places like that once every 4 years. So there's rules that goes along with that. So all of those, like there's so much that goes behind the schedule that people are like, if y'all not playing, what are y'all doing? Like there's still a lot of work because you still have to engage the students. You want them to do community service. You want them to be engaged in the community, not only the community where they live, but also the community of the institution. Because all too often, sometimes people think athletics is on an island by themselves, and you have to, kind of integrate them into the larger campus community. So there's that. I mean, you have the videos, and even though I don't handle this part, but there's like the video side of things. There's a fundraising side of things. There's the marketing side. It's a lot. Like our staff is probably 200, somewhere in that range.
Wow.
So yeah, when I was at Dartmouth, our staff was about 200, and I oversaw about 150 of those 200.
It's a lot. What
resources? You got to hire and fire people. You got to look at contracts. You have to negotiate contracts. You work with agents.
If you ever looking for another finance person for your team, there was a young lady that made a comment that you are very passionate. Her name is Deslyn Langalo Haywood.
Okay.
She's in the finance department at Benedict College in South Carolina. So
shout out to Benedict College and President Rosalind Clark Artis. My soul. Mm-hmm.
I had some time I'm not playing against Benedict College. We used to play them. That's how I know about that school. But yeah, if you're ever looking for a finance person, she's a very intelligent young lady moving up the ranks in her department, and that could be a good look for her if you're ever looking for somebody.
If you're listening, Deslin, connect with me on Facebook. Hopefully she's still listening. Pam, what school did you go to?
She's an avid listener. She always on keeping us going. Always.
Okay.
Don't miss a show.
What school did you go to, Pang?
I went to Edward Waters College in Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida. I know Edward Waters very well. Yes. Beautiful Jacksonville.
Yes, Jacksonville is nice.
Yes, it is.
That's her right there.
No. Okay.
Oh, she's an Allen. Okay, my bad, Deslin.
Yeah.
My bad. You did tell me that.
Deslin, connect with me on Facebook. So my name, Kristene Kelly. So I'll be looking for your Facebook request, and we'll talk offline. Everybody don't need to be in our business, so.
So what's the five sports you're dealing with?
All right. So here at Vanderbilt, and again, I've only been here about 2 weeks. So women's basketball, and it may be more than 5, I don't know, but women's basketball, bowling. Yes, bowling is a sport.
Right.
So playing men's and women's tennis, and soccer.
How you was just touching on scheduling. How has COVID affect scheduling?
How has it not? That's something that we were just talking about earlier today, which is what do we do with scheduling? Because so a lot of schedules are in place years in advance. Like if you go to some football schools, they have schedules out till 2029. So what do you do when you have guarantees? So guarantees are the money that either you pay or somebody pays you to play them. And, so smaller schools will play larger schools. So like, let's say Vanderbilt will play, I'm making this up, Tennessee State, and we'll pay them $300,000 to come play us. So we're guaranteed to win most of the time. They get a little bit of money in their pocket. They can kind of help and offset their budget. So what do you do with that? You have to get your OGC, which is your Office of General Counsel. So any sort of legal people, you have to get them involved because they're the lawyers. I'm not a lawyer. They're the lawyers. They review a lot of those contracts to ensure that we're not breaching any sort of contract and putting the institution in any sort of financial liability. So you have that. Then you have the situation with COVID where certain conferences have decided their institutions, their member institutions will not be competing. So the Pac-12 out like the Californias, UCLA's, like all those people, their Pac-12 has said, you're not playing. We're not playing in the fall. So if we were scheduled to play somebody in the Pac-12, now we've lost that game and we have to find somebody to fit that game. Then you also have to deal with your state rules and regulations. So whether or not your state may have like travel restrictions. So schools in New York, they can't travel out of New York right now. So I was looking at a contract or a situation today with an institution in New York where we had to put it in writing that we're going to allow them out of the contract because by their state regulations, they can't travel. So you have like COVID has all these different nuances and there's no playbook for this. We are learning every single day, learning the new about COVID and how it's impacting what we're doing. Vanderbilt has like a $6 billion, like 90 billion dollar endowment. So financially, we're okay. But there are a lot of institutions who are not okay. Because when you think about college, there's tuition, which is what you pay for your professors to teach you. And then there's room and board, which are, room meaning where you're living and board meaning the food. Those are auxiliary services. And that's what pays for a lot of the support staff. So when institutions closed and those students went home, there was no people in the residence halls and there was no people being fed. So all those people pretty much got laid off. And then that was income and revenue that was not coming into the institution. So I know at Dartmouth, every term, and we were on quarters, every term that we didn't have students on campus, $15 million we lost.
Wow.
15 million. So imagine the hit that took on the budget. So there were a lot. I mean, people are making a lot of cuts right now, just trying to hit the bottom line.
Wow.
So a lot. It's everywhere. It's hard.
It is hard. It hurts the small schools too because they depend on like the major universities, like you said, Vanderbilt and all the other schools, especially football, because they make a lot of money, and then that's when they could help their athletic department and kind of help the baseball and the tennis and bowling and stuff. So the trickle down effect is really affecting a lot of colleges.
People realize that. So when people always talk about football and basketball, they get it all. They get this, they get that. At the end of the day, when the football team is getting paid, I don't know, $600,000 or $1 million or whatever the number is to get their butts beat, that same money that they're bringing in is what's offsetting exactly what you said, Mamba, is that's what's offsetting these other sports. And I can't say that's the case necessarily at Vanderbilt, but I'm saying for the smaller institutions, that's how they're making their budgets run. And it's just reality. People don't want to admit it because they feel like, oh, well, basketball get all this and football get all of that. But hell, y'all ain't the one out here getting your butt beat, getting your brains blown out to offset the budget. So, that's another story though.
And those are the sports that bring in the bigger revenue too. And some of those revenues probably help other sports at the school.
Absolutely. They do, from not only the guarantee games, but revenue in terms of tickets. So when you have a homecoming game, imagine the number of people that are coming to campus. So, the gate receipts that you're getting there. Same thing with basketball. You don't charge for a softball game. And I'm a softball player. You don't charge for softball. You don't charge for tennis. So you're not bringing any money at all. You know what I mean? So people don't really want to admit that, but it's the truth. Like the money. I mean, it's true. We can read any sort of finance documents, and it'll tell you plain out and simple where the money is coming from. Right. I'm not making money because it still costs money, but they're helping other people.
Does your son play any sports?
He's a basketball player and he's a track athlete as well. So he stands about 6'1". So he's a good kid. I've definitely been blessed with a good kid, and there's a lot to be doing in the world that he's not doing. Hopefully I'm not embarrassed myself saying this publicly. But no, he's definitely he's in 12th grade, so he's graduating high school this year.
You said he was going to college. Does he know what college he's going to?
So because we left New Hampshire and he was scheduled to reclassify. He wasn't supposed to graduate till 2022. We hadn't really college scene lately. Well, early enough. So now it's kind of accelerated. So he's looking at a couple schools. I think he'll end up at a historically Black college though.
That's good.
Exciting, because we need our HBCUs. They mean a lot. Like, yes, I work at Vanderbilt, but good Lord knows my money goes to HBCUs. And I many of them as I possibly can.
Big up to Bethune Cookman. Wildcats. Big up.
If Chanel is on here, I know Chanel going to jump up with Bethune Cookman, BCC, all of that. I love BCC. Or BCU, sorry. It's BCU now.
BCU, yeah.
It used to be BCC.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But HBCUs mean the world to me. My husband went to Savannah State. I went to Johnson C. Smith. And hopefully, our son will be an HBCU grad. There's nothing like HBCUs. Yes, right. We know you went to the Mecca. We know you went to Howard. And she
went to Howard?
Howard, yep.
Okay.
Karen Carty was on here. She went to Norfolk State.
Norfolk State, yeah.
Yep.
She came to my baseball game when we played Norfolk State. So big up to Karen, yeah.
And Karen, I don't know if you've interviewed her yet, but see, I knew Chanel would come up here with his book with this whole BCU thing. But it's Karen. I don't know if you've interviewed her yet too, but she's also a really great person to chat with. She works at Bradley University in Illinois.
Yeah.
But spent, a lot of time between South Carolina State, Norfolk State, and some other institutions. She was in Maryland for a little bit. So
It's
funny you said that, because when I saw her name, I was like, I got to talk to her because I got to get her on. I forget all about Karen.
No, she's definitely on my radar. I know Karen from time she was a baby.
What?
Karen is a close family friend.
Yes. And
her people them on my father's side. I don't know. We might be related somewhere down the line, but her people them from Angola, and that's where my father from.
Yes, so that's right. Okay. That's exactly right. And I know Dwayne Krause was gonna come up here with this whole St. Aug stuff. So he's saying that. And Rain, I think that's how you pronounce it. Yes, UVI HBCU. That is exactly right.
Her name is Lorena.
Lorena. Okay.
Yeah,
I made the mistake you made, so I will make sure I help you out. So
Lorena.
Right.
But yes, UVI is a HBCU. For those who don't know, HBCU stand for Historically Black College or University, and the term is historically, which means that it was founded before 1965. And at that point, there was a time when Black people could go to any other school, and these were the schools that were founded to educate Black people. So if you look at schools like Bluefield State or West Virginia State, they're both in West Virginia. Their enrollment now is probably 80% white, but they are HBCUs because they were historically a Black college or university. So that's just a little bit for you that's out there. But UVI is an HBCU, so shout out to UVI.
Man, dropping knowledge, because if before today I would have never known that, or would never even give that a thought.
Yep, it's true. I mean, and if you look at West Virginia, like West Virginia State is an HBCU, but they absolutely are an HBCU. They have a lot more white people than they do Black people now.
Yeah.
Times change and people have done that, but I hope my son does end up at an HBCU. I think he will enjoy the pageantry. He will enjoy everything about it, all the women, everything with the band,
the environment. The environment is just it makes you feel at home, makes you feel welcome.
Yes,
it's nothing like a HBCU. Nothing
like it. Nothing like it. So that's my plan, hopefully. And if my money is going anywhere, that's where I would like for my money to go, is to an HBCU. So we'll see. I mean, it teaches you a lot. It teaches you how to grow, how to think for yourself, and people allow you to make mistakes without just kicking you out.
Right.
That's the thing I appreciate. So I miss my time working at HBCUs, but I feel like I can support them more on this end than I can when I was working there. So I still try to help people any way I can.
That's good. Let we switch it up a little bit. Let we get a little touch on your political mind and your activism mind, if you have one. Like, how do you feel about the verdict of the Breonna Taylor, and like, what's your thoughts on that whole situation?
Listen, there's so many thoughts, and it's heart-wrenching because I'm a Black woman in America, and she was literally just sleeping. That's it, in her house. So to see that, and then before the verdict was dropped, they knew what the verdict was going to be, because I don't know if you saw, they had like taped up all the gas stations and people boarding up their businesses and all of that, because they knew what was getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
And fool Daniel Cameron, who was the district attorney, I'm like, dude, did you forget the color of your skin? Like,
you forgot.
You're a mother? Do you understand what this means? But he's so far up Mitch McConnell's tail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In Kentucky, that my thing is, they using you. You're a pawn. That's
right.
What you are. And until you can't do nothing else for them, they're gonna throw you they're gonna keep using you, and then they're gonna throw you to the side. And then who gonna have to pick you up? We will. Right. Don't forget who you are. So God, and people are like, oh, I can't believe that the family took the money. You know what? Hell, I would take the money too if it makes a difference in my life. It ain't like they can bring back Breonna and it doesn't justify her killing. But you know what? If they could use that money to do something else to help other people, then use the money. They owe it to her. They owe her twice as much as that.
Right.
So
True.
It's so disheartening, because living in America, being a mother of a Black son, I know what he could possibly deal with. Listen to the conversation my husband had to have with my son the other day about, let's walk through if you're driving. Where is your license? Where's your registration? If I'm the cop and I pull you over, what do you say? What do you do? That's the type of stuff, the conversations we have to have now. Don't reach over here. You make sure you tell the officer, here is my registration. It's in my glove compartment. May I reach over here to get it? Just the kind of stuff that you have to do that other people don't have to. I tell people, look, some of my white counterparts, if your son is walking down the road, do you worry about him? No, not at all. I said, well, I do. And that's the reality of the world that we live in. Black people are tired. We are tired of dealing with all this stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot right now. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I just like that debate last night. Did y'all watch the debate?
Yeah,
I watched like 10 minutes, and that's enough for me, man. It was just too crazy.
That right there, I was like, this can't be real. Like, I think I chimed in maybe 40 minutes late. I chimed in. The first thing I heard Biden say was, "This clown," and I'm like, "What?" What?
Yeah,
they both was behaving like clown. Like,
they were.
Biden wasn't really showing a backbone, and he was getting caught up in whatever. Like, Donald Trump came for a different reason. He came to be on TV and to outshine,
Fell
Yeah,
into it.
he came to control the narrative. That's what he wanted to do. Yeah.
And Biden fell into it. The one thing I felt like Trump was, I mean, he's wrong for a lot, but even worse was the fact that he brought up his kids and then the one son who died. Like,
Yeah.
at some point, we know this all banter and good TV and all this foolishness, but at some point, you don't bring up people's children. Like even Trump's child, I'm like, now his older kids that's in all that mess too, they fair game.
Yeah.
But the younger one, Barron, like leave him out of this. You know, like he ain't got nothing to do with this. The same way that is it Bo? That's the one who I think Bo Biden, the one who passed.
Bo, yeah.
For God's sake, like why are you bringing that up? Like that's below the belt at that point, below the belt. And then he didn't have the nerve to use the word white supremacy or white supremacy. Come on, like what is going on with you?
He couldn't denounce them. Like at one point, Joe Biden was trying to. Can you denounce the white supremacy right now here on live TV? Couldn't do it.
He ain't doing it. He ain't doing it at all because those are his people. You inciting this foolishness. If you had said no, I denounce white supremacy. Do you feel like you would have lost it? And to say it was crazy, and I'm gonna say this, and I promise I ain't gonna say none else. I try to stay out of politics. The same people that is right and high for 45 for Trump is these people they broke the same stuff that you write in for him. He don't give a damn about you. He cares about the people that are at his wealth category, not yours, not people who on food stamps, not the people over here who haven't have abortions and do all kinds of other stuff, not the people who need, government assistance. Y'all writing high for him. Yeah, let's go with Trump. He don't care about you.
Like, sure don't.
And y'all sitting here writing high for him like he could care less. He could care less. So I don't know. It's a mess. It's a mess. And
it is a mess.
Vote.
We don't have any other choice other than Joe Biden, but he don't really seem like he got that together either.
He looked tired, man.
Right.
He needs another trip to St. Croix like he would do every year, and he needs to be refreshed and kind of rejuvenated.
Right.
On this trail. I can't wait for Kamala Harris next week. Her and Pence on their little vice presidential debate, because she better come with it.
Yes, definitely. She definitely is the one that got a spunk in that party there.
She is fired up, and I am here for it all. Yesterday, she was in Raleigh, and she was in the hood in Raleigh, from what I heard, like around the barbershop by St. Aug and all of them. She was up there, like shaking hands and doing different things. I'm like, people, go register to vote. Most places have a 30-day window where you have to be registered to vote within the 30 days. That's coming up in like a few days. Get your butt registered. I don't give a what you got going on. Go get registered to vote and show up to vote. And do your research. Don't just vote straight Democrat just because that's the easiest thing to do. Do your research, because it's more than the president. It's these judges, these senators, these congressmen, these Supreme Court people, not Supreme Court, the court folks, is the fire people, is the police chief, is all these other people that's implementing policies and rules, your mayors.
Yeah, that's true.
People are. And don't just vote Democrat just because. They may be just as crooked as some of these other people.
Right.
It is what it is. So let's do something. I know this, isn't this a voting year in St. Croix? Is this an election year in St. Croix? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
For the senators, right?
Yeah.
Listen, why do we have so many senators for such a small island?
That's the same thing I be saying.
I never understand why we need so much senators that could never agree on anything.
Nothing at all. I mean, and then all this tralala. Let me tell y'all something. And I know I shouldn't be talking about this type of stuff, but going sometimes when I wake up at night and I read the foolishness. Like, I know VI Free Press, I think that's the name of it. That is not a reputable media outlet. But some of the foolishness that this man to write, I think that's the name of the thing, VI Free Press. Listen, I had to read this stuff like, no, did he just say this? No. Oh my God. I just hope people, and I'm not calling any names, I'm not doing anything such as that because I don't want to disparage anyone's name. But holy smokes, it's a lot of stuff happening in the government. Some lot of pillow talking that's happening. Allegedly. There's a lot of pillow talking allegedly
Yeah.
in the VI. So listen, I know Colleen, but it keeps me going. It keeps me like laughing. I don't believe it necessarily, but it keeps me laughing to say it's some foolishness that is happening in St. Croix. How often do y'all get home?
I usually go home every Christmas,
I
carnival
haven't
time.
been to Christmas in so long because of where I work. So we always playing games. So it's
Yeah, that's true.
Christmas. So I usually try to go like once a year, but I have not been. I was home May 2017. But no, who's telling me to take my microphone? And
That's Jarim Dowling.
Jareem, that's my boy. I love Jareem. He is so funny. No, you cannot take my microphone. But no, May of 2017. Literally, my sister graduated from UVI. And that's another thing I want to shout out my sister, Andrea Brathwaite. She has 6 children. Her children are ages, the oldest will be 26 this year. The youngest is 12. And she graduated college at the age of 40. And I am so proud of her for sticking to her guns and pushing through and graduating from UVI in 2017. So that was the last time I was home right before the freaking hurricane. And I've been back since because there's a part of me that's like, I don't want to put an extra strain because my mother's house is inhabitable. So she's living with my sister. And I don't want to put an extra strain on the house by being there. But it's so people, if you have a goal, achieve your goal. Nobody cares how old you are when you achieve the goal. Work at it until you get to that point. So shout out to my sister, Andrea Brathwaite, for achieving her degree at 40 years old. I mean, her child had already graduated,
Awesome.
but she did.
Yeah, definitely big up to your sister. Big up, definitely.
Big up. And she's a teacher at where? The Complex.
Complex. We already know.
Can I get some Caribs up in here, please?
It's a lot of Caribs in here. It's so much Caribs. I've never seen this much Caribs people in here before. So
I love it.
they swarm in here.
Why people harassing me about this VI free press? Listen, people, I don't read it all the time, but if there's some stupidness, that man to write some stupidness, and I don't believe it in terms of what's out there, but he really to write some off the wall stuff some sensationalism, I think is what it's called. Let's see, to show how brainwashed and slow the Republican Party. Trump once said, if he run for president, yes, that is true. He did say that he would run as a Republican because they are the dumbest part. That's exactly.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
Yes.
It's true.
Colleen Edney too, and I have to call her out because Colleen is on this fitness journey and she is doing amazing. She has lost so much weight. And then she got in a really bad car accident. I'm talking, she had to learn to walk again. And
wow.
She is back now. I mean, working harder than some people who don't get up to do anything, who have perfect use of their limbs. So shout out to Colleen Edney for all of her fitness and her journey that she's on. She looks amazing. She's one of my friends. So I definitely want to shout her out there.
Yeah, big up to Colleen. Keep walking hard. Keep walking hard. Yeah, definitely.
And thank you for being with us tonight, man. And much well wishes to you. And make sure you achieve all your goals.
Are you done talking? I'm just kidding. You don't take me seriously.
You get a chat going crazy with this Barras and Caribs. I can't even keep up myself.
Dwayne talking about we don't only interview complex folks.
Oh my gosh!
There's a Carib up in here, okay? Like, and let me shout out my Carib. Okay, one last time, and then I'll let y'all go.
No, go ahead. Do all your shout outs. This is your time, so do whatever you gotta do. You're running the show.
Greg, who was on here, volleyball, who went to Benedict College, but she's at Carib as well. Her and her sister Portia, technically Persha, Charmaine and Portia Gregg. Phenomenal volleyball players, both at Benedict College. But I need to say this, that in 1994, when we were juniors at St. Croix Central High School, I don't know if you remember this, but girls couldn't wear pants. I don't know if y'all remember that. It was a long time ago. And their rationale was that, well, how can we tell the girls from the boys? Because there are some girls that dress like boys. We're like, what? So our junior class fought and fought and fought, and we ended up where the girls could now we could wear. We were like, well, why can't we just wear maroon pants? Just wear a different color, and that's how St. Croix Central High School allowed girls to wear pants. Was because of our class allowing, kind of pushing it for us to wear pants. So I want anyone who knows, seeing that the Caribs are wearing pants is because of 1994 when we were there and we pushed it for that to be the case. So thank you very much. We've been revolutionary for a while.
That's what's up.
Make sure you guys pay homage. Pay homage to 1994.
Is up here. Let me see. Melissa Shang. Well, she always gonna be Melissa Shang. I don't care if she married. She will always be Melissa Shang. Y'all know Melissa Shang? She's a
her father or her uncle used to teach us in school.
Her uncle.
Her uncle, and he used to be in volleyball too. He was real good in volleyball. He was really good in volleyball.
Let me tell you, that girl could serve a volleyball and she could hit a volleyball. Melissa Shang, she's in the record books in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Like when I say she is a phenomenal athlete, and with them, like it was like they were trying. Like they just naturally gifted young women. I mean, that whole kind of crew when I was growing up were some really gifted young women in terms of athletics.
I meant to ask you, did you play softball at Central?
I did. Yeah.
So name some of the players that you play with. So
Melissa Shang, Rose and Lily Williams, Kanisha. I can't remember what's Kanisha's old last name. Kanisha James. Was it James? No. James is her sister. Married name is James. What's Kanisha's last name? Woodruff. Kanisha Woodruff. Who else? Jillian Rose played as well.
There was two girls from San Farm. I don't know why I can't remember their name now. Oh my God.
There was also Jackie and her sister, but I can't remember. I feel like they were from West. What's up here? Tell us who was on the team with Rose and Lily them.
Was Pauline Humphreys on your team?
Yes. Oh my God, how can I forget Pauline? Yes, my girl Pauline. Now Pauline was one of the nicest people ever to me. I'm telling you, private school, public school thing was real. But Pauline was one of the nicest people. And then Kimmy used to play. Well, Kimmy was more volleyball.
Yeah. Kimmy was more volleyball.
Pauline
was
basketball.
Pauline was my girlfriend in school at the time.
And Pauline just get married too. Yes.
Yes. I just saw that on Facebook the other day.
Yes. So Kanisha was also one of my. She was so sweet. She's dead. She's alive. Kanisha was one of my sweetest friends and always was nice to me. I'm telling y'all don't understand the rivalry between this whole public school, private school.
That's what we're talking about from Savelle.
Yes, Savelle. Yes. This was crazy. And my sister used to play volleyball. My older sister, and she used to want me to play volleyball. I was such a tomboy. I did not want to play and wear them tight little short up pants. I didn't want to. And I was like, I refuse to do that. So I am not playing volleyball. And I just did not. I did not want to play because I wanted to to be like a boy. I thought I was a tomboy for a long time. Lisa Sherman.
Lisa was the all-star. She was the power hitter.
Lisa, if I'm not mistaken, Lisa was the coach at the time for me. I don't think Lisa was playing.
She might have been a little ahead of your time because Lisa went to school. My sister.
Yeah, she was a little ahead because she's from out east, right? Lisa Sherman.
No, Lisa from Wim.
Lisa Sherman. Okay, wait.
Kashi Reds. She might have been there with you.
Maybe. I don't recall, but the ones that I remember clearly made an impact on my life and made sure that I was in line. But yeah, we all came together and we were one team. And like I said, that year in '94 when we went to Illinois, it was an amazing experience. Giselle ended up. Did she end up at Complex? I can't remember Giselle.
I want to believe Giselle came Complex. You remember Giselle Mumba? I want to say we had a Giselle in Complex. What was the last name?
Yeah.
Morales? Yes, Giselle Morales.
Yeah.
We definitely had a Giselle Morales in Complex, yeah.
Her and what's the other girl are best friends? Her name began with a G. I can see them. They always together. I can't think.
A
Who?
G.
What is her name? Griselle, Giselle and Griselle. That's what it was. Grisel.
Nah, that name don't ring a bell for me. But if I see her,
Chanel Quincas and like that whole crew. They were a little bit younger than I am, but yeah, they were all. Listen, that's why I love Facebook, because it allows you to keep in touch with people. I know there are a lot of people who I don't like Facebook and Facebook this and Facebook that, but at the end of the day, Facebook allows me to keep in contact with so many people. If you use
right?
the right reasons, it could
Yeah,
be effective. And
that's
Yes.
true.
no matter how you're using it. So yeah, I mean, it was my time in St. Croix. I always tell people, don't knock me from an island. That's the best time that I had ever, like in life. Yes, I've actually lived in the United States longer than I grew up in St. Croix, but
Same.
uh, you can't tell. I mean, again, if you talk to me on a regular basis, I probably sound like this, and I probably don't sound like I'm from an island. But I could switch it up any which way, any which way I need to. Yes, Colleen, that's how we stay connected. I really and truly appreciate it. That's how I know Colleen was in a car accident. That's how I know her, her journey. I don't want to know about dating Jermaine Harrison. That was my boyfriend. I love me some Jermaine Harrison. He was one of the best baseball players down there. Did y'all play baseball or y'all were basketball guys?
Jermaine Harrison. It was.
I
You
play,
sure you were thinking about Jermaine Lynch?
I play baseball. I play baseball and basketball.
There was Jermaine Harrison and Jermaine Lynch. They both played baseball.
Yeah, Jermaine Harrison sound familiar.
He was
Baseball.
tall, real tall, and that was also like Terry Byron, Glenn Byron.
We had Terry Byron
You have
on.
to go. You have to go back and look at our Terry Byron interview.
Terry, listen, we all private school, St. Patrick's, massive.
St. Patrick's, yeah. George Bailey. We had George Bailey on too.
GB, that's my
yeah.
that's my classmate. GB,
You know Khalid Greenwich?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, these are all my people. Them, listen, there's so many people out there that's doing big things like Ernest Morris. Y'all know Ernest Morris? He's a Superior Court judge. Biko Claxton, he played at Alabama State. But Ernest Morris was in my class. He graduated from Yale University. He's phenomenal. I mean, there's so many people that are doing such great things in this world that I'm like, man, y'all need to tell. Not y'all.
Text me some of them names you're calling and how to reach out to them, and we'll reach out.
I absolutely, because they need to tell their stories of the things they're doing. I mean, I love social media, so I'm always out there just saying stuff like that. But I feel like if I could big up St. Croix every day of the week, I will, because we have to do that.
That's true.
We have to do it for ourselves. Our islands deserve it, but we also have to do our piece, our part too. Now we need hotels. We need to have, Frederick said should not be a freaking ghost town. Yes, I did go to St. Joseph. Yes, for 2 years, 2. That's it. For the last 2.
Oh, that's Mumba's one of Mumba bodyguard when he was in school.
Don't listen to
ask
Pan.
that question there.
Chani is my big brother.
That was one of his bodyguards in school.
Gotcha. Listen, and I'll tell y'all this last story and I will let y'all go. But yes, Biko Claxton is doing really good, and Jermaine Harrison, they would be really good. And Biko is on Facebook too. But I remember I was at St. Joseph, and my sister, I'm 5'8", right? But my sister is 5'2". And I'm the tallest female in my family. But my sister used to fight all my battles for me. So back then at St. Joseph, we didn't have a cafeteria because after Hugo, they never really rebuilt the cafeteria. So Miss B. Harry and Miss Archibald used to come and cook food for us and all of that. So anyway, and they used to grill and everything. And I remember I was ordering 2 cheeseburgers, and somebody went and tell this girl named Joanne Larac that I was talking about her. And somebody went and told my sister, we had different lunch periods, that Joanne was trying to come fight me. So my sister came out of her class. She told the Spanish teacher she had to leave. She come out and she went in Joanne Laroc's face and was like, "Who you are? You ain't talking about my sister." So the whole school behind my sister going up in Joanne Laroc's face. I done left my sister to go get my cheeseburgers because I am so into food. I had my sister fighting my battles for me, and she still fights for me every day of the week. And I just had to share that. I left her to go fight my battle so I could go get my cheeseburgers to eat. But that's how much food means to me. But my family is top notch. Another person you should interview, my niece, Chanel Aline, who is doing great work in Orlando. She's a nurse practitioner. She's a barack.
Wow.
Yeah. Big up to Chanel. Big up to my neighbor. That's my neighbor. So big up.
That's your neighbor for real?
Yeah.
What? Small world, Mr.
Connected. Yeah. It's a small world. I mean, her and her husband are doing great work. And I think as a team representing the Virgin Islands,
that's true.
She's a nurse practitioner straight out of St. Croix. They doing some fantastic things, and they would be some great people to talk with as well. You know, they're a little bit younger than I am, but I just think for the younger generation to see it. Yes, Chanel, you need to come up here.
Big up to Win. Big up to Win. That's my brother. Big up to Win.
Mumbai user connect. One of China Dan members is my neighbor.
China Dan, yes sir.
You gotta get here on China Dan. That's what we need to get on.
Well, he's a truck driver, so he barely there.
He always gone. Yes, we are all connected. So
that's true.
It is. Lot is 8 o'clock. Let me go feed these people in my house.
One last question before you go. One last. You don't do any mentorship programs?
Not necessarily a program, but if people want to be mentored, and here's the thing, I can't mentor everybody, but somebody who's serious about it and who wants to learn and will stay connected, then yes, I will absolutely do that for whoever. If there's one or two people, because again, I don't want to commit to something that I don't maybe have the time to do. But if there's one or two people that are really serious and really want to understand the business and how you get in and all of that, then yeah, I'll absolutely do that.
That's what's up. And actually someone text me that, so that's why I asked. So
okay.
Yeah. So
I knew you gotta go ahead, Frank.
No, I was gonna do the same thing you were going to do.
I know you gotta leave. You ever thought about doing a podcast or doing radio or something? Because you got the perfect voice, you got the perfect energy for this.
Oh, listen, if y'all want to have me as a guest ever so often, bring me on as a guest and I'll interview people. And I love stuff like that. Like I love just talking, as you can tell. I love to talk, but I also love telling stories about people and telling people stories. So if there's a way that I can help that, then that's what I'm always bigging up people, shouting out people, you know, sharing things, posting things, because it's important for us to tell each other stories. We have to big each other up. So if you want to bring me on as a guest and you want me to interview some people, listen.
We will. Because one of the things we would like doing, especially since you dropped some names, some of those names that you dropped that we would like to, we wouldn't mind bringing you back on, because it will relax the person that's being interviewed, and y'all could, you know, go back and forth with your stories and jokes, and, you know, we just have fun with it, you know. So that would be, we would love to have you back.
That's what it's about.
How about you get your friends them from Central?
Yeah.
You guys have a little reunion.
We need to.
That'd be good.
Here, Colleen and Janae, if I was still up here, let's pull that together.
Colleen, Janae, if you guys are interested, you guys more than welcome to come on. More than welcome.
96, so that means we 24 years. So next year it will be 25 years. Good Lord. I feel like I look good for graduating 25 years ago. I can't believe I finished high school almost 25 years ago. Wow.
I with you, man. I feel the same way. I've been here in Jacksonville 22 years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. That's a number that I didn't foresee seeing.
It would go. So Colleen said that would be fun. Yes, we need to do it, Colleen. Absolutely. We need to do something and just have like a back and forth. We old. Well, I old. I ain't that old. You won't get on here, Janae. You always behind the camera. We getting you in front of the camera.
And we definitely need to get Janae on, because I know Janae's still working with girls and young ladies who are playing volleyball, and I see her post them going. I know her daughter went Jamaica last year.
Yes, her daughter.
While Buju was performing, so they got a chance to see Buju. So Janae, you my girl, you definitely got to come on and share your story, because you was a good volleyball player coming up. You know what I'm saying? So.
And you need to see her daughter. Her daughter can play. Do you hear me? Janae daughter ain't no joke. Like she
Yeah.
can play volleyball. So and with Janae, people don't realize that all of the broadcasting and stuff that happens with the features like on TLC and all of that, Janae James is behind it. A lot of people don't realize that. Like
Wow, that's nice.
these other shows that focus on their travel channel and all of that, Janae James is behind all of that. So
Oh, see, Janae, you definitely need to come and talk about stuff like that. People definitely need to know that. So, Janae, you got to come on.
Janae,
Janae,
and
I
I'm
know.
Yeah.
I know Janae said that she don't like interviews, but Janae, this is not really interview. It's
Right.
just telling your story, and
Right.
yes,
we just the piggyback, So
tell your
you
story.
will have a lot of fun. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
She will, and she's awesome. I mean, even the story about her brother passing away, I think it's been about Luzzie passed maybe 14 or 15 years ago, and how she chose to honor him
Yeah.
every single year. Like she don't care how expensive the ticket is. Janae will go home every year in honor of her brother Luzzie. And I just think that is just amazing for that. Listen, Dwayne, yes, I've already told them that I'm a Delta. Yes, they know. They know. Do you need to throw up the sign? Yes, I'm a Delta. No, not gonna be behind the camera. You
Yeah,
need to tell your story, girl.
we ain't
Like I
going for that.
really,
We ain't going for that at all. And we do appreciate you for this connect. So, we
yes,
definitely need to get you on.
yes, yes, yes. Well, guys, I appreciate it. I thank you. I guess I need to go feed these people in my house before they have conniption. Like they acting like they can't, their hands do work. Like they can't cook themselves. But I will take care of it. But I appreciate you. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for bigging up all the island people, whether we're at home or other places. Y'all doing great work. And remember, we have a responsibility to bring people up with us. So who is going to be the next Mumba? Who's going to be the next Pang? How can we help bring them up? Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Sure.
And we're looking forward to your interview next week with Livewire, and
Sure.
all the which way that you could spread your word and the different outlets. That's perfect. So
Yes.
we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down and chat with us, and this was
Always.
this was a lot of fun, and it
All
was
my
great.
Deltas jumping on here now. Let me find out. Yes. All the come on in here.
Yeah.
I actually have some Delta work I need to go do now too, in addition to cooking for these people. So my
we
day.
be in touch. We definitely gonna be in touch, and we definitely gonna make this one happen with your friends.
And next time I come to Orlando, we need to link up.
We definitely gonna link up.
Oh,
So Chanel, Wayne, they know why I there. So I gonna make sure I tell them to let me know, because they know where I live.
One thing you could do too, if you have any interesting stories, anything article, anything interesting that you come across related to the VI, you can always post it on our page.
Okay, I will do that. Absolutely, I will, because y'all had already interviewed Jareem, right?
No, I got his name. I got some names written down here that I was supposed to contact, but I forgot. So I'm gonna get it. I have Karen. I gotta make sure I contact her. I'm gonna hit Jareem up, and then Biko is my guy, so I gotta hit up Biko. As well,
because the one thing I'll tell you about Jareem, and then I promise you I will leave, is Jareem. He and I've only met in person once or twice. We talked on the phone a few times since we met. But there's this an instant VI connection. And when I tell you that he helps people from the VI day in and day out. Everybody wants to be a basketball player. Everybody thinks getting a Division I scholarship is the only way to go, and you'll get a full ride. And I want my child to go for free, and that's not how this works.
Right.
Not how it works. There are limited dollars that are out there. You got to be cream of the crop to be at the level that Jareem is. He's at University of North Texas as one of the assistant coaches. And the type of matter of fact, his team had 2 or 3 Virgin Islanders on it. You think that's by happenstance? No, it's because Jareem is making sure he's getting people's names out there. There was I can't remember the girl name who also at North Texas from Virgin Islands as well. Jareem helped her get there.
Didn't he help his sister to get it, one of his younger sisters or somebody related to him?
I believe so. Yes.
Niece or somebody.
He to help people left and right. But here's the thing. Don't send us no foolishness. If you have somebody, if you know your child or whoever ain't up to the skills or they ain't gonna do the work, you got to understand that when one person come, if one person screw up, they ain't looking at us no more.
Right.
So you need to send us the people that's going to work, that's going to do the job, and then that can help other people to come. But
Right.
here and you start doing stupidness, you messing it up for everybody that's coming behind you.
Right.
Can't do
That's
stuff.
true. That's true.
So that's the one thing that, and people don't want to hear that. People think everybody getting full rights and full scholarships. That only happens at the big schools. Everybody else, you got to piece it together for that to happen. So college ain't free unless your child have an amazing 4.0 GPA or something like that. But it's going to be hard. So you got to be prepared. College is expensive. Yes, Jemiah Simmons and Shaquem Alcindor. That's exactly right, at North Texas. They're all because of Jareen. That's the kind of stuff that he does. He to help people, and he's never lost who he is. Never, not one time.
That's
So
awesome.
anyway, okay, it's 2 hours. I'm gone. I ain't messing with that anymore.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye,
It's been a
guys.
pleasure.
See
Enjoy
you.
your evening.
Okay, you too.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye. Oh, that was good. That was real good.
Yeah, that was good. That was real good. So real quick, Pang, we're not gonna be on this Sunday. And
Okay.
then the Wednesday is G-Nick's funeral. So we're not gonna be on. I'm gonna be attending his funeral. So we're not gonna do it Wednesday either. But then we're gonna be back the following Sunday. We got Bow coming on Sunday.
That's what's up, man.
So we got Bow coming on Sunday. What was I gonna say? So hopefully get in contact with Mountain. So I like to have Mountain on because Mountain talk about how Bow was working with him a lot in the gym, helping his shot, and I think Tegan was with him too as well too. So we got Bow coming on Sunday. That's October the is it October the 11th or October the 14th? Let me just so everybody tuning in. We're not gonna be on this Sunday. We're not gonna be on the Wednesday. We're gonna the 11th. So we got Bow Sunday, October the 11th. That's a Sunday, 5 p.m. And then we got Coach Butte on Wednesday the 14th. And then we're gonna go from there. We got a couple other guests supposed to be lining up because we have this is episode 36, and then we're gonna be leading up to Tegan episode, which is episode 41. So we have we're gonna have a couple more coaches on, trying to get some more coaches on, and then take it to Tegan, and then we're gonna try and go young a little bit, and then we still have these names here as well too, and then we still have to do. Oh, go ahead, Pan.
No, I was gonna say it's a lot of names, a lot of people, and every day I talk about this, like people always still dropping names to me. So, man, we get the viewers watching, we get the people. We gonna always have something to watch somebody coming on. So, I just stick with us, man. We're gonna keep them coming and keep having fun doing it.
Definitely. I got to contact Langolo because I would like to get on too as well too. Langolo, thank you for reminding me. I forget. She will be on. Langolo will be on because she told me from like when we first started the podcast.
Right.
She said it. So Langolo, I apologize. So you definitely gonna be on. So so that we're gonna have some few people on and stuff. It's gonna be a good episode.
Comment, don't forget me for Bow interview.
Yeah. That's why I apologize to her because she told me from since the beginning. So
Well, this worked out perfect because the game is on.
yeah, the game is on. So just real quick, I kind of want to like spread out the people and my stuff. Big up to Renis. When I come home for the funeral, I got to talk to Makil. I have to get Makil Rajas on. When I come home, I have to try and get Tyrone Lake, Neg on too as well. So I got some work to do. It's some people, Pang, I know I have to do my episode. I have some people that I have to get on before I come on because they have to come on before me. That's just how it is.
Right.
So we got some work to do. And I know Kristene going hit you up with some names too. So, it's just all about scheduling and everything. So like you said, we have a lot of people and everything. So everyone will make everything happen.
Yeah. Well, good show, man, Mumba. And like I told you earlier, man, I love that we do this. Appreciate. I love working with you guys and doing this. This is like you said, this is our baby. So I look forward to coming on, and this is like a stress reliever for my work day. Sometimes I can't make it because I work, but for the most part, I do my best to make sure I hear my son.
Pang, man, hey, you got you've been a big part of my life, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't realize it, but when I do my episode, you gonna understand it. So I'll tell you now. I feel like you don't get the recognition that you deserve, but that's how life is and shit happens and stuff like that. But you know, you the man. You are a big brother. You know what I'm saying? You are a big brother, and that's just the way how it is. So
what I would always say to that, like I think I do get the recognition I deserve. You know what I mean? And I don't hear it from the I guess the right people. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. True that.
Like people will show me love everywhere I go. Like I tried my best to make it to Atlanta Carnival, and just I tell you, if I don't go to these places, please start, my son, because when you run into people that you haven't seen, it's like one of the best feelings, my son. I remember one time I went Atlanta Carnival, and it started to rain, so I had just walked in the apartments and it started to rain, so I like trying to get up underneath a little shade to get some, like I had an umbrella, but it just won't work in good. And I just hear somebody scream out my name, my son, and this person have been down for a while. You know what I mean? They've been off the scene for a while. So no contact, no, I never saw this man in years and nothing. But the man scream out my name, and for being gone so long, you know what I mean? And the one time he see me, or the first time he see me, my son, the man was just like excited to see me, my son. And I was just as excited to see him because I just remember them being on the basketball scene when I was getting introduced, and his name was S, and he used to be on like the coaching vibes and stuff from Kennedy, S from Kennedy.
Yeah.
And I saw that man for the first time at the Atlanta Carnival, and we chopped it up for a little bit, and that was one of a great feeling because he older than me, but he used to admire my game coming up and so on. He always let me know that whenever he would see me when I was still living in St. Croix, always let me know that.
Nice, man.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
like some of these things, like the reunions that we're talking about and doing, and like all that stuff is needed, man. We always need to like keep that connect with our people, Mr. Because
we're gonna make it happen, man. We're gonna once the COVID eased up, we definitely gonna make it happen, man. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, release Rasan Smith. He's going to be interviewing with Tegan and Pang when I do my episode. Rasan, that's big bro. So Rasan, that's who we had on. So he's gonna be.
And then Tegan could decide whoever he wants to have on for his interview.
Yeah.
Go from there.
Yeah, man. So everyone, we appreciate you guys. I'm gonna let you finish it off, Pang, and you're gonna take us out. Everybody tuning in, I appreciate you guys' support. I appreciate you guys always, supporting us and tuning in and supporting all the different guests that we have, man. So all the viewers, we appreciate you guys. Remember, this podcast is for the people. So if you guys ever want to come out to discuss anything, you guys could hit Pang up, you could hit myself up, you could hit Tegan up, you could hit anybody up. You guys more than welcome to come on anytime to discuss anything. If you guys want to promote anything, you guys could use this platform any given time. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to let you guys know this is for everybody, not just us. This is for everybody. Like how we always give the guests, they're more than welcome to come on anytime and be a guest host whatsoever. It's all about sharing with one another, spreading the love, and is a each one teach one mentality that we have here on this platform. So, appreciate you guys. Good night to everybody. I appreciate you guys. Much love.
And piggybacking on what Mumba just said, we definitely appreciate for coming out there every night when we doing these shows, and I could be anywhere else in the world, but I choose to stop by with us, and it's very, very well received and appreciated. And we could keep this thing going for as long as you want it. You know what I'm saying? And there's no us without you. So we appreciate that taking the time out. This one was a short show tonight, but it was with good. The energy that Dr. Kristene brought. It was all worth it. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of our evening. Go watch Lakers beat up on the Miami Heats. Even though I like Miami too, I still want LeBron to win another ring. So I'll go watch the game and get ready for work in the morning. And thank everybody for taking the time out to sit in with us today.
Dwayne, big up, Dwayne, big up.
Yeah, Dwayne. Yeah, we're gonna definitely get some more Caribs people on it.
You know, wait, Pang. We need to get Dwayne on. Dwayne, you got to come on. You have to come on. We gotta get Yan Pang. We have to get Dwayne on.
And Dwayne is a success story too, because Dwayne's what, firefighter, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Karen, I'm gonna hit you up, Karen. Karen, I'm gonna hit you up. And you family with Karen, so we definitely I'm gonna hit you up. Definitely got to get you on.
Yeah, I think Dwayne's a firefighter or a rescue.
Yeah, so we gotta get Yan. So yeah, man. So
what Chani just said?
Chani said, never Pang, no rain for LeBron.
Well, Miami playing good. They're looking good, so it's gonna be a good game. Well, I'm gonna say this, Chani. I want a good final. So I honestly, I just want LeBron to win another ring, but it really don't matter who wins. Oh, he said used to be a firefighter.
Yeah, man.
Well, I read it, man. Mumba, as always, love the show. Was a good one.
Very good one.
We talk about it a little more than
the 11th, October 11th. Wow.
Okay, which in the next 2 weeks, and which is good that we do that to honor G Nix. You know what I mean? I never had the chance to meet him, but this is a good way to honor him and not have a show, because his name always come up on every show, every episode. His name always come up. So a good way to honor him. I wish I could have come home, even though I never met him before. I wish I could have come home and attend the funeral. But I know you and Tegan gonna be representing for the show down there. So
yeah, man.
So. Well, you're gonna win your 100 channel.
Yeah, man. So everyone, we good, man. Everybody be safe. Much love to everybody. Big bro, much love to you, Pang. Much love.
Right. And Tegan, wherever you is, stay dry. You said they had a storm coming, so hopefully everything good at St. Croix. Take it easy down there. And good night to everybody.